this is the assess then. The last question in the assess. This is the AQA exam style question. In fact, it's a genuine AQA question set in 2009. It's lovely because it breaks it up into two parts. You didn't have to do that. You could have gone straight into part B and you would have been none the wiser. But this is great. So here we are, final question of section 23. The sector, or chapter 23, the sector AOB is a circle, of a circle is shown. So AOB is a sector, a big chunk of a circle. We're told that the arc length of AB is 10 pi centimeters. There it is, that pi thing again. So this length here is 10 pi, not this part. That's obviously the radius of some sort. So that's, let's put in red or so it stands out. So that's 10 pi centimeters all the way around from there to there. Okay, so there's no mistake in what I'm chatting about. The sector is then folded. Now this is really good because they're actually drawing the picture. The sector is folded so that the straight edges, so that and that, they touch and they form this lovely seamless part of the cone. So the folded parts are folded so that the straight edges meet and form a cone as shown. So that becomes that. Well done. Now calculate the radius of the base of the cone. Now look how wonderful and helpful this diagram is. So the zero, the center of the original sector, becomes the vertex of the cone, and AO and OB join to form the seam of the cone, and we have A and B right there at that point there, so they've joined. So essentially what they're really showing us is when A and B join like so, this part is actually the circumference of the base of the cone. So really the circumference equals pi times 10, or better still 10 pi as they called it. So the circumference equals 10 pi, in other words roughly 31.4 centimeters. But here we go, calculate the radius of the cone. What do we know about the formula for the circumference? Well, circumference equals 2 pi r for any circle, but this also equals 10 lots of pi in relation to this circle at the base of the cone. So 2 pi r equals 10 pi. Straight away I can say bye bye to the pi's, dividing both sides by pi. I'm left with 2 radii is 10, so a single radius is 5 centimeters, and that is lovely for part A. Now part B is a bit more complicated, but only a little bit more complicated. It says work out the volume of the cone is 80 pi, there's that pi again, so all this volume equals 80 pi. Work out the height of the cone, the perpendicular height of the cone. In other words, how tall is it from there to there? That is the question. So h equals, we don't know yet. Well, we're going to do it anyway. So what is the formula for the volume of a cone? Well, we know that, let's put it up here, V equals 1/3 of a pi r squared h. You may recall that pi r squared h is the volume of a cylinder, and the volume of a cone is 1/3 pi r squared h, just as the volume of any pyramid is going to be 1/3 base area times height. So here we go. So let's substitute in. So I've got the volume of my cone is 1/3 pi r squared h, and I'm told that the volume is actually, in terms of numerical value, 80 lots of pi. Alright, now what have I got? Let's substitute what we know. Let's just destroy these pi's. Doink, doink, they're gone bye-byes. I've got 1/3 of an r squared h equals 80. Take the 3 over and multiply, so I've got r squared h equals 80 times 3. Let's write it in, and of course that comes to 240. Working a little bit more over here. The radius is of course 5, so I've calculated the radius of the cone here. So from there to there, I've got a radius of 5 centimeters. Now I'm just trying to say that they didn't have to do part A for us. They could have said blah blah blah, here's a sector, here's your 10 pi, work out the volume, work out the perpendicular height of the cone if its volume is 80 pi. They could have said that and just left it as a 6-mark question. As it stands, it's a 3 and 3 mark question, 6 marks in total by separating them off. Alright, so I know the radius is 5 centimeters, so I've got 5 squared times h equals 240. I've got 25 lots of the height is 240, therefore the height is going to be 240 over 25, and that comes to 9.5 6.6 centimeters, and that is a really nifty question. That was part B, of course, and there it is, all on one page there. Hopefully I'm not in the way of this, and I'm sort of sitting down here somewhere, I hope. That's it, and that is probably at the top end of the question they may ask, but I found that really easy myself. And there it is, and that's the end of chapter 23. I now have the last chapter to deal with, and there's definitely been a surprise for you in store when I do my last video ever, and it's going to be fun. So see you later. It's an incentive to watch all the videos, isn't it? Right, catch you later everyone. I now need to switch this thing off.